been here in Oceanside since 2002, and so much has changed. The downtown area has just grown and evolved so drastically. This community has always been just a gem. How long have you been here in Oceanside?
About 8 years.
Okay. Long enough to see the change.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even in only the last few years that we've been here, just seeing.
For better or for worse, it's evolving, and that's life. We have to change with the times. People, when they think of Oceanside and they think of places to live, this is literally one of the top neighborhoods, top communities. You ready to do this today?
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. So you said you came and toured this not that long ago?
Yeah, still for a client, lower income, definitely needed more bang for their buck, and this is a great community that we're passing by right here on North River in Oceanside. It's got a transit bus station hub right next to it. This pocket is kind of a great entry-level starting point, community, and you've got parks. We've got, I think this is Bishop Park coming up here on the left.
Yeah, it is a really nice community center. They have the tennis courts, really nice tennis courts, and the whole baseball field over here. Sure. Always see games going on.
I'm often there, sitting in those bleachers, watching baseball games. We've got a community center as well. So today, this is going to be a pretty neat opportunity. We're getting ready to roll up on the community of North River Farms?
North River Farms.
Oh my gosh, look at this.
It is.
Michael, so how many homes are they putting in here?
I believe from the billboard that I've seen, it's somewhere close to 500 or maybe a little bit less than that, but brand new single family developments that are really, really nice. They have revitalized this entire plot of land. I remember driving through this about a year ago, and it was just weeds and dirt, and they've obviously came through and done an incredible amount of work already. Kind of really excited to see what it's gonna look like.
Can we go view a model home real quick?
Yeah, let's give it a go.
All right, so here we're at North River Farms in Oceanside. Michael, can you tell me a little bit about this community?
Yeah, so I misspoke. Not 500 single-family homes, but actually 395 with the entire new development. Set to be done in 2027. Obviously still going through different phases of construction right now, but this is an incredible community as it's coming up.
It's a massive community. I mean, hundreds of acres of land here in front of us. This place is pretty insane to kind of see what they're doing real time in the making to make this, I think, full completion by 2027. It's going to take some time, but this is a massive area and they have a lot planned for it. Some of the local amenities, a little bit of the research that I did prior to this video is they're going to have a mountain bike track. They're going to have, of course, a pool, country club, and so many other great things for local living, close to Camp Pendleton. It's going to be spectacular.
Yeah, and one of the main things about it that really intrigued me when I first saw it or did some of that research like Jake was talking about was this is going to be one of the first communities within the Oceanside, area that is focused around agriculture, and they're kind of, coining it an agrihood. So it kind of means they're really focused on being connected with the land still and farm to table, sustainability and community is really what they're focused on here.
Yeah, and I think a little bit of history on that is I've been here since 2002, and I remember driving through this area, and there's been a lot of talk about this community over the years and what they were trying to accomplish here. But originally back in the day, this was all farmland, right? Although they're putting in 395 homes, they want to keep the culture, keep the roots, keep that vibe and that environment going as much as they can. Of course, building 395 homes, it's got an impact on the land. But
Absolutely.
ultimately, here in Southern California, Oceanside alike, we just need more homes. You know, I think price points for this, we've got, 5 different plans or styles of homes that they're coming in within this community. 1.1 to, I want to say 1.5 ballpark price range. We weren't able to get into the office this morning, but that's all right. We'll drive around the community a little bit more and show you what's actively getting developed, literally,
Yeah.
as we stand here today.
Yeah, it's really cool to actually be able to see all the different, even from where we are standing, the different phases of development that's actually happening. Can see framing happening down the street. You know, some of these other models in front of us are near completion, and then other homes are already wrapped, waiting on siding, waiting on roofing. So it's pretty incredible to kind of see something of this scale happening real time, and how this phase of development really happens.
I've been here in Oceanside since 2002, and so much has changed. The downtown area has just grown and evolved so drastically. And the locals that have been here for 30, 40, 50 years would very likely have a different opinion and want to keep Oceanside a small, quiet, quaint, friendly community. For better or for worse, it's evolving, and that's life. We have to change with the times. So with that evolution, new homes have to be built. We have such a massive shortage of homes in the local area that it's a necessity.
Yeah, there's a lot of macroeconomic factors at play where it is such an isolated space here in Southern California where there's not opportunity or even a chance for places like Oceanside or kind of these neighboring coastal cities to like stay a sleepy, quaint, ocean surf town. They, out of necessity, have to, like you said, grow and continue to develop.
My first property that I purchased back in 2007, 2008, I bought it for $215,000. And at the time, my wife and I, we were stretched thin. We're like, whoa, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And we're literally having to dodge. Good times. Don't call OSHA. But starting back in 2007, we bought a house that was $215,000, and we're like, oh my God, what are we doing? We're crazy. Now that was 2007. Now we're in 2025. That's a home, right around the $800,000 mark. And since then, I've been able to use that as a stepping stone, right? And home values have definitely gone up as they have almost everywhere.
Southern California in specific is, we saw a lot of growth over the last 5 years from a lot of factors, and I think something that everybody recognized as one of those big factors that changed a lot of things was the pandemic and how that affected everybody. But aside from that, Southern California is really unique because we're isolated.
Yep.
From
Yep.
any further development, we only have so much
There's
land
no
to
more
really develop on.
You're right. There's no more space.
Yeah.
And North County, what I love about North County, and the reason why, we really settled in on here, we could have chose anywhere. Yes, the military roots. Michael and I are both Marine Corps veterans. I was active duty 2002 to 2007. When were you in?
2017 to 2022.
And that settling in North County is because it's different than the rest of San Diego. It's more spread out. It's very diverse as well. I feel like there's so much to do, especially in the outdoor realm, and that's what I really enjoy, is being outdoors, being outside. You go farther down into San Diego proper, everything is more dense, a little bit more chaotic, more traffic, more of everything. If you want a bar hopping nightlife, maybe that's a spot to be. But for a military family, young military family, somebody that's getting their fresh start, Oceanside has been evolving quite nicely over the years.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, one thing that I really do love about Oceanside is its availability to everything outdoors. I mean, San Diego in general being one of the most temperate places in the country as far as weather goes, and aside from that, but you have the ocean, you have the mountains, you have the desert, you have everything you could want to do within, a few hours, less than an hour radius maybe.
Right.
It's pretty amazing.
people might have a negative about home values and home prices, that things have gone to the roof, and yes, they've gotten more expensive. But there aren't many places in the US or even the world where you can have beautiful weather like we have, specifically in North County, San Diego. Camp Pendleton, I feel like, has its own climate of its own at times, which is good and bad. When you're going to the rifle range at 4 in the morning, not so much. Remember those days? Do you miss those days?
Definitely not.
I do. I miss them.
It's bittersweet. It's bittersweet.
Oh, God, I want to go back. I want to go back and qual on the range again. Oh, I miss it. Wait, here's a debate. You were ACOG, right? Not iron sights?
I was. Yeah, I never used it.
I was all iron sights. They call that old school. Old guy, young guy. That's funny. That's a debate within the Marine Corps. Maybe that'll be a whole separate video on its own. We've got to set that up and figure out if we can set that up on the range, because civilians have range days as well.
Old school versus the new school.
Yeah, I'll be down. Did you see the VP?
I did see he was wearing the aviation.
Yeah, well, he was at Quantico recently, and he went to the rifle range. He's a Marine Corps vet. I think he got out as a corporal. I think first enlisted to do something of that caliber, right? That's massive. Whether you like him or hate him, I don't ever get into politics. But him being a Marine and getting, having access to get back on the rifle range, I saw a video of him shooting rounds down range in the prone position. That's really back cool. Back on the range, I think in Quantico. So that's pretty cool to see too.
That is really cool.
This area where we're at right now, it's going to be that entry level area, that up and coming. And these price points of when I mentioned my first home, we're getting into that neighborhood right now. And again, these price points, $650 to $800, maybe $850. Some of them.
Yeah, if they're really well updated and kind of been kept up to stay up with the times. But
sure, if they've been remodeled and nice.
Yeah, you'll definitely see, like you said, other ones that are kind of beat up, and sellers coming on market and kind of ready to cash out their equity and find somewhere else to live, and that's a great opportunity for people to kind of have that entry-level position.
Right. Your house, you added, or somebody added,
the second story.
Second story, right?
I believe it was built like that originally. And there are a few within this development. They're all the exact same style as these, with almost the L shape with the garage in front and then going around. But there were in this development originally some that were 2 stories. So I think mine was just one of those original
ones. So I had a good buddy that lived in this house.
Right here?
Yeah, he was it's definitely more beat up looking now than it used to be.
Yeah.
He was a Navy corpsman. I had a Marine Corps, but he's retired now, that used to live in this house
right here
when it first got flipped. So they've done some work. This one I probably got sold.
Yeah.
When we were first married, had kids, this gray house right here is my first house.
On the right?
It's not gray anymore. Well, it's kind of gray. I think they repainted the outside.
717.
Yep. It didn't have any of these plants.
Say,
didn't have any of those
that?
plants. I did that fascia. I did those gutters. There's a Navy guy here, not military. Good people, not military there. This guy's retired, like Master Chief or not. And that first house, talking about YouTube, I learned YouTube and what to do, plumbing, doors. I redid doors. I redid like all the doors, French doors, replaced everything, flooring. I put in retrofit windows, redid stucco work, trim work, replaced all the fascia on the exterior of the home. Did so much. So we're on the outskirts of the Arrowood community here in Oceanside, and this has always been just a highly sought after community. It's been a while since I've been in this part of this area, but this community has always been just a gem. People, when they think of Oceanside and they think of places to live, this is literally one of the top neighborhoods, top communities. Outside of Rancho del Oro and some other spots, this is, like I said, a really good community.
Now nice tucked away up here in the North Valley. And
Yep.
kind of very separate from, you know, these other developments down here. It is very nice.
Yep. And then if we go drive back, you'll probably see the back side of where we just were.
Mm-hmm.
So on the other side of that park over there is literally where we just were.
A nice overview of the new North River Farms development.
Got 3-car garages, and Arrowood is known for its golf course. It's got a premier golf course here in Oceanside. Okay, Christmas time is the time to drive through here as well.
I definitely have checked out.
Yep.
Some streets do some really cool light shows for Christmas, where you can even tune into the radio station and have the synchronized light show and music going on in the car. It's
Sure.
pretty cool.
Was that one for sale back there?
It was just sold.
I'm gonna have to look that one up. See who our competition is. Yep, them some beautiful, just beautiful homes. Well maintained. Definitely a higher price point. You know, these homes are 1.1, 1.2 on up. I want to say 3, 4 million, I think is the high. How long have you been here in Oceanside, Michael?
About 8 years.
Okay. Long enough to see the change.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even in only the last few years that we've been here, just seeing how downtown has changed has
Yep.
been pretty incredible. And then, yeah, aside from that, the housing market as well. You know, when we were initially looking for homes, we were looking here in Oceanside, up in Temecula, and the price points were obviously much lower just due to the time that we were looking. And, you know, over time, they just do continue to rise. That's one of the great things about real estate.
As we mentioned before, there's quite a bit to do. Even we talked about a little bit about the outside things, and we'll check out the golf course here, but also so many other activities. I want to at some point go by the Oceanside Jump as well. Skydiving.
Oh, okay.
The airport.
Yeah.
Entering into the Arrowood golf course. So they have a driving range that they've also set up similarly to like a top golf.
I do notice there's a lot of retired military within this community as well. Whether they got here a very long time ago, did their 20 years, and, you know, decided to stay here. It's a very nice community, and for people to, you know, who have retired, just come here and spend the morning playing a nice round of golf.
Yep, let's go check it out real quick.
For sure.
All right, so we're here at the Arrowood golf course, and this is just literally one of the gyms in North County, highly sought after when it comes to golfing. You've never been here, right?
I have not.
Okay. I've been here for a while, highly sought after. A little bit higher end price point for golfing, but we'll walk in here and check this place out here a little bit. What else do you like to do in Oceanside?
Mainly, I like to, so not a huge golf advocate, actually have only done a few driving range sessions myself. But aside from that, I really do like to get outdoors and do a lot of hiking here in San Diego. There's a lot of great spots in Oceanside, but aside from Oceanside, you know, Carlsbad, Encinitas, Del Mar, everything that's really along the coast and a lot of the mountainous areas around there. Love all the hiking you can do.
You're very, very right there. I love Calvera Hills, Calvera Lake, that hiking spot right there. It's an old volcano plug, which is really a really cool spot to go mountain biking, hiking, and being outdoors. And of course, you can't beat the water. Literally living here in Oceanside, here at the golf course, we're probably 7 miles from the ocean. So really cool. This golf course that we're gonna check out here is literally people come in from all over to come play at this golf course. And if you're looking to hang out, have a good time, do a good round of golf, that's cool.
That's where you can check out all the big barbecue grills for gatherings.
Yep.
Pulling the grills onto the beach for the barbecue.
Utilized the services there many times. You can rent trailers, all the camping needs. You can get it all. It seems like it's a really cool setup that they have here for active duty and veterans. And off in the distance, we've got my wife and I, we used to park our trailer right here.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty cool. You know, get on there, key fob access, get it, hook it up and go. We used to do quite a bit of camping before the kids got heavily into travel ball. We were always, it seemed like, you know, twice a month, we're always out and about doing our thing.
Coming to pick up the trailer and go
Yep.
drag it across wherever.
Yep, for sure. Do you enjoy camping?
I do. My wife and I are going to get a trailer of our own pretty soon.
Nice, nice. And then the good thing about Camp Pendleton is, well, they used to have a paintball park, which is really cool back in the day when they had it. But they've got a lot of outdoor activities as well, you know, horse stables. You can do horseback riding and go out pretty far because Camp Pendleton is it's a massive community. It's got so much land space. I think there's 17 miles of beachfront.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty incredible.
Which is just crazy.
I know, going down the 5 as you're coming from here in Oceanside up towards Orange County, and probably a 45-minute drive of just Camp Pendleton and, you know, all the mountains and nothing on the right. It's pretty beautiful.
Sure.
And actually, they did have the paintball park for a while. They just shut it down maybe about a year ago. A lot of the equipment is still set up here, though. You can see the old abandoned Huey and some of the tanks.
I think they've sold off some of the old equipment to other organizations.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, a bunch of rundown 7 tons and
sad to see.
yeah.
I'll take that Huey. Michael and I both have a background in aviation, both helicopter mechanics, you know, turn wrenches on the helicopters. It's in our roots, I guess.
Definitely. Always remember and love is the aviation community in general. And I think it's really big here in Oceanside or around, you know, any of these bases that are in San Diego, because aviation is such a huge part of the military industry.
So let's talk about a little bit about what they have on this base specifically for a young military family, even enlisted officer, what it is. I know they have their own golf course as well.
Yep.
We've already showcased a recreational checkout facility. I'll make sure to drop the link. And by the way, if you're enjoying this content, this is something that we're getting rolling and we're going to be doing more about the surrounding areas of the military bases here in San Diego County and throughout Southern California. So more to come on that. And if you like this content, please, like the channel, subscribe, share. Be greatly appreciative. I know they also have a bowling alley on base, which is pretty cool. It's a really cool, it's new, it's modern, it's pretty decked out.
And aside from only the bowling alley, up here on the left, it's a community pool that you can actually come and swim and hang out at.
Sure.
They have the big shopping plaza here with the Canes and the Starbucks and the shopping center. Nice place to be able to kind of do your daily shopping, whatever you might need to run into the store and grab. The movie theater as well. I don't know how updated that is, but
so bowling alley, they've got gas stations, they've got car washes, they have even a rifle range and pistol range for active duty and civilians to utilize on certain days. Something that's really cool also is a auto hobby or auto skills center, which I've actually utilized multiple times.
Yeah.
Putting a lift on my truck, replacing transmission fluid, oil, all of that. And they've got all the tools there. They've got everything you need to work on your vehicle.
Yeah, one-stop shop to be able to go in and
Literally.
do whatever you need to do.
Literally a store, obviously with your auto goods and all the tools.
Yeah, another really big, aside from Leatherneck Lanes over here is really nice, and then we have Page Fieldhouse. It's actually one of the nicer facilities I think that base has to offer.
Yep.
For active duty veterans, families come and playing soccer, utilizing the track and field, and then indoors they have pickleball courts, basketball, all the amenities of any really high-end gym facility.
Yep.
It's really nice to have that as free access.
And again, Camp Pendleton is a city within Oceanside. It's even got its own zip code. It's a massive. We're not even going to go and explore the depths of the northern part of Camp Pendleton. We're only going to show you today just a small glimpse of what this base has and some of the amenities that it has. Of course, full-time federal firefighting and police to keep you safe and secure. A lot of the developments in the community have been redone, have been revamped. When I first came into the Corps, a lot of communities were old and run down. A lot of the buildings were, in different states of repair.
Of disrepair?
Disrepair, yeah. But over the years, over the last 20 years, they've done so much to bring it up to speed.
This view is incredible. That's hard to beat too. All the mountains in the background as we're coming up on Lake O'Neill, which is another really, really cool spot on base for people to be able to kind of check out.
I don't know if I've noticed that pond right there.
Wow.
That's cool.
Yeah, they have fishing available, and you can actually rent campsites at Lake O'Neill too, as I'm sure you know.
Yep.
Be able to rent out a campsite and drag your trailer and hook up and get to experience everything that Camp Pendleton has to offer. It's pretty amazing.
And so this base has been here for so long. Originally, it was a massive ranch. Back before World War II, I believe, Marines came in, started to really utilize it kind of more on a full-time basis. It's an amazing place. When you're active duty, you might think otherwise, but looking back on it now, it's pretty cool.
Such a huge part of, at least in Oceanside, a huge part of the community. It's a military community at its core. So it is really, really cool to be able to kind of see how they've intermingled over the years and how they just continue to grow together.
Right. And the thing about Oceanside, what I love about Oceanside so much is, compared to some of the other surrounding cities, it's a blue-collar community.
Yeah.
Some of the other surrounding cities, higher price points.
Yeah.
That start at 1 million, 1.1 kind of, just to get your foot in the door. But Oceanside's different in that way. You can still get your foot in the door at the $600,000, $700,000 price point.
Yeah, there's still affordability for middle working class folks to be able to come in and buy that first home, like we were talking about earlier, that entry level. It's pretty amazing.
I might not be illustrating it and showing my joy and just passion about Oceanside, but we moved away for a couple of years, way prior to real estate. Had a different position with a different company that took me elsewhere. Did that for 3 years and said, you know what? That came to an end, and it said it's time to move back. Moved out of the area and then moved back. And it's funny, when I left, it's like, okay, I'm ready to get away from Marines, right?
Yeah.
As you're out, as you might find out once you're out, you're like, okay, I need a little bit of a break. But being away for a couple of years, it really enabled us, my family, to understand like what we really love and what we're passionate about Oceanside. And you can't beat the weather. Where we were living at before, we were getting smogged out. We had brownout days, disgusting, just so much smog. It was bad.
You might even be able to see some Marines running their PFT on the flight line right now.
They run it on the flight line?
Yeah, right around the perimeter edge right here. They do their 3 miles.
I used to always go to Lake O'Neill for the most part.
Yeah, it's either here or O'Neill usually.
So you've obviously been out less time than I have, but are all the Huey and Cobra units here on this end versus down farther, or are they scattered?
So this is the only skid H1 unit right here, and then these next hangars are all the V-22s.
The Ospreys, they came out during my time, but I never saw them.
Yeah, because they were the Frogs first, right?
They were the 46s.
Absolutely. And that's really cool, kind of showcasing all the different units. I always like looking at that, driving by. Might even turn in here and go through headquarters if you want.
Yeah, you can. They always had guards.
I guess just a lower force protection condition.
Because at one time they were really strict about
letting.
If you didn't have access to get into this side, what are you doing here?
Yeah. So here we got the main
guy's
air
trunk.
traffic
The guy
control.
just left his trunk open.
These are all the tilt rotor squadrons right here. Purple Foxes and the Night Riders.
Yep.
And this is kind of an ode to the old right here. Like
Yeah, man.
Frogs.
Good times,
cool.
good memories. So I was in Iraq, OIF, with the frogs.
And then the original Hueys, or the
Yep,
Novembers.
two blades,
and the
Novembers,
Whiskeys.
and the Whiskeys. Yep. On the other side of the fence where we just drove by it, it's a 24-hour chow hall. I used to go there active duty and as a contractor at one point in time.
Yeah,
Get
and
my food.
it's really
And that was
important.
before there were all these different food establishments
Yeah.
that have really grown over time.
Yeah, that was really the only availability for
Yep.
anything.
Yeah, fond memories. We're gonna have to tell war stories here in a little bit. That's
Good
the
and
next
bad.
video.
Good and the bad. It's all good.
Every time I hear them here in Oceanside, Southern California, you could be at the beach and you look up and you just hear it. Automatically, it's something you recognize.
Absolutely.
Like it's like, oh shit.
Yeah. Every time my wife and I are out in town, walking near the pier or downtown Oceanside, and I, like Jake said, look over and hear something and look out of the ocean, it's a whiskey.
The burrito shop.
Yeah. Yeah. Ramones. These are all the other units as they make their way down the line as new units
Not much
come in
has
and
changed.
deploy.
But I remember like when these buildings were newer,
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know, new-ish, like they had just remodeled. Oh, good old corrosion control and wash crew.
Yeah.
Oh man. HMLA 169. I don't know how these buildings look nowadays inside. I don't know if they've kept them up. I mean, they're not that old, but that's cool. Is this still the schoolhouse?
No, actually. So I think this.
Well, that's
big red
CNAT, but then this used to also be a part of CNAT.
one- So this is no longer CNAT.
Oh,
CNAT is now across the street over in the 20.
22 area? 24 is over there,
Okay,
22
yeah.
area is over
So
here.
it's across the street now in the 22 area. This is now another education building. I think Embry-Riddle University holds classes here.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. That's my color of Jeep right there. Showcase the Jeep.
Represent.
It's orange. Let's go. Just got to get them a wrap. Make it look better. Put
Slap a Team
slap
Smoke
some
sticker
Team
on there.
Smoke, branding on there.
Got the nice Flightline gym too. It's actually a pretty nice place to work
Yeah.
out.
So they used to have a store in there too. It's probably
In here, yeah.
in here now.
Yeah.
They do some
Barbershop.
PT right here.
Yeah, they do.
I don't know what was here before. Maybe it was always a PT spot.
PT in the nice little Micmac pit.
Okay. God. They had like hazmat, like safety,
Yep.
environmental, whatever.
Environmental. Still here. Yeah, not much has changed. Just people.
Yeah. I do miss it a little bit. I don't miss the good old Marine Corps, the drama part of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that I'm very fortunate to be a part of. To be a part of that brotherhood. 17 years later, I'm still talking about it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something that never leaves you.
Absolutely not.
Like I did the same thing with regards to leaving the military, got out, E5, sergeant, got promoted pretty quickly, got all the qualifications I needed, and then still worked on this base, on this flight line for another 6, 7, 8 years, however long it was, as a contractor, still working with the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
Everything I've done since the military, since 2002, when I came in one way or another, has been in a capacity to support the military.
Yeah, absolutely.
To support the military. That's what I'm passionate about. And our real estate team, Michael and I, were both Marine Corps veterans. We actively support all walks of life, but our focus is the military community.
Yeah, yeah. the tie there is so deep, and just really being able to understand military personnel and military families and what they really need.
Yep.
Just having been there ourselves and really understanding what that looks like, it does feel really good to be able to really help people out like that in whatever situation they might be facing.
100%. And when I first got into real estate, and you've probably learned this as well, like they tell you, find a niche, find something you're passionate about, find something to focus on, whether that's a location, a group of clients, a type of client, and run with it.
Yeah.
And the military community, I really feel they're still really underserved.
Absolutely.
In so many different arenas. So to be able to give back and to continually work with the military, active or retired. I mean, I've literally worked with clients from all over the world.
Yeah.
Over the years in real estate, I've worked with clients in Hawaii, all over the US, Japan, Korea, England, Africa, Germany is one of my latest, Japan multiple times. I think that's it so far, but
more to come for
yes,
sure. Yeah.
Yes, more to come on that. It's really cool. And so myself, I've got so many benefits that stem from my military service.
Yeah.
And to be able to be a resource and provide value to the local community, I really feel like my real estate team and what I've built here, with Michael included, like trying to do events to give value and to give back to our military community. Like we'll do a VA Disability for Dummies event.
Yeah.
That's my title on it. But we'll talk about disability ratings and what the service members can do to file for disability. It's something that's a very common practice when you get out, and to go through that process and what resources and what direction is the right direction to take when going through the disability rating process, buying a home, VA loan. There's so many benefits, and I'm telling you right now, you've got to utilize them.
Yeah.
And if you have questions, get in touch with one of us, with somebody on my team, and we'll be happy to get back with you. Because at the end of the day, I've got to be able to sleep at night, and I know Michael's the same way. We've got to be able to sleep at night knowing that we're doing the right thing for our military community.
I think part of it for myself really is just an extension of that camaraderie of service and togetherness. And you know, Marines, they just help each other. They help each other figure things out and make things happen. So I see this service to people as an extension of that, to be able to really help them. And like you said, so many service members and veterans just aren't aware of their benefits and what it can really do for them, because there's no education on it in the military. It's not something that's regularly spoken about. So I feel a responsibility, understanding it for myself now, to be able to give that understanding to others and to be able to pass that along and really change people's lives.
100%. Well said. You're giving back.
Mm-hmm.
And as I mentioned before, everything I've done since the military in one way or another was still with the military or had the military in mind. I was a government employee for 7 years. I was a contractor for 6 or 7. Before that, I was private sector, but I got hired through a Wounded Warrior Project initiative. Being a disabled veteran myself, like I got hired through that process, and that was a great experience and great exposure as well. But I wanted to circle back and find a way to personally give back.
Yeah.
To literally impact a military family and a military community on a deeper level. And I think being active duty and being a government employee, you're kind of one person, a part of a massive team.
Yeah.
Which is great, but you don't always get to see that end result.
Yeah, absolutely.
The great thing about real estate, it provides us the opportunity to have that direct impact.
Yeah.
It's over the years, I think they've discovered more things about, like there's been new discoveries. I think they've, at one point they found was it Holy Mammoth? Am I saying that right? Like old bones buried. Because it's a huge ranch.
Yeah.
Way back in the day.
Yeah.
I'm curious what is still is yet to be discovered.
I think there's a big sign somewhere on the 5 as they're heading up towards Orange County, Camp Pendleton, preserving California's natural resources. It really is. It's pretty crazy to think about and see all this untouched land. and see that probably all of Southern California looked somewhat similar to this before, you know, all the development of these really large cities.
Right. Another time we'll go explore down the Edson Range and
Yeah, the recruit side.
go back on the recruit side of the base, get my ass cooked, and become a sugar cookie.
Get screamed at for walking on the grass.
I'm too old and I'm in a different type of shape for that. This guy can hang though, not me.
The big main side here. Yeah, coming through. It's interesting. You probably remember the San Luis Rey Gate as main side.
Yeah, it was.
And now
You're
this
right.
is new main side, and that's old main side, or what it's referred to as. Yeah, you got the commissary, you know, your kind of same setup of shops and, you know, your gas stations over here near the main gate of Camp Pendleton. What is, now referred to as the new main side, since they kind of developed this whole area.
And then over here, you've also got one of the largest hospitals, the Naval Hospital, which used to be over by Lake O'Neill.
Wow, I did not know that.
I mean, this hospital is only 10 years old.
A decade
10,
old,
10.
maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. When I was active duty, it was all at Lake O'Neill.
Wow.
That wasn't here. It wasn't built.
Yeah. Yeah, it does have a modern look to it compared to some of these other structures and buildings on base.
It's a city all on its own. It's a beast. All. It's a standalone unit, just like military bases. That's what they have to be.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, some of these junior Marines, they don't have the opportunities to get out into civilian life.
Yeah.
When they're brand new, they've got to have all the resources here. Take a bus, take now an Uber. Used to be a taxi, right? Used to be a shuttle.
Yeah. Speaking of not having the availability for newer, you know, enlisted to be able to go out into town, I think we should check out Del Mar, the beach on base. That's pretty cool.
Okay.
You know, having the option to don't even have to leave base, and you have a private beach specifically for military personnel that I think is really underutilized.
Cool.
People don't check it out enough. First MAF headquarters.
Let's go. They have it so nice on this side of the base.
Yeah.
If this is where you live and work, you don't have to deal with traffic.
Yeah. And they are very secluded over by the front gate over here.
Good old Del Mar Beach. Oh, camping.
Yeah.
Cottages.
Yep.
And Marines with
their
awesome
packs
weapons.
And gear on. Oh yeah.
I love it.
I don't know if you've ever been, but every 4th of July they hold a giant beach bash here for 4th of July, and a lot of the military families can just come on base and watch a free fireworks show they put on. It's really awesome. It's pretty sweet.
They have a cool little venue right here too. They still have a restaurant in there.
They do.
Is it Roberto's?
Yeah, Ramones. Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
Ramones. Yep.
And all these cottages for rent. You probably get pretty good prices on a beachfront cottage.
Right.
Step onto the sand.
Man. So unfortunately for the civilian folks, you do have to have, you know, sponsorship to get on base. You know, somebody that's active or retired veteran that kind of gets you in and to allow you to have a great opportunity. Yeah, take advantage of some of the great opportunities that they have here.
Yeah. Neil, they have hookups here too, where you can drag your trailer. You know, people got them set up right here. Wake up, drag your trailer right here, step out onto the sand.
That's so cool. Such a great amenity for veterans and military to take advantage of. Good old barracks.
Oh yeah.
Got newer ones off in the distance over there, but
Might actually be developing some more right here, maybe.
I'm sure they are. I'm sure they have to now.
Older ones here, and then right at the other side, the newer, better looking, a little bit better at least.
Have you done like any fishing on the pier? Been down to the harbor quite a bit?
I have been down to the harbor quite a few times, but I have actually not gotten a fishing pole or tried fishing here yet. For as long as I have been here.
Just here for the scenery.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's all right. I think I've only done it once or twice myself.
I'll just smell the fish.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, Oceanside Harbor right here. It's a cool spot. It's one of the few harbors that we have here in Southern California, and it's a really cool place. Just the vibe, the feel, what they have going on. Talk to the locals that have been fishing here for quite some time. It's really neat to hear some of the stories. And I think someday, if I'm able to get a boat and park it here and maybe go out on it, maybe that's a part of the retirement plan.
There you go. Absolutely. And they got some pretty cool
Yeah.
vintage shops here. I think they got an ice cream, sweet shop, nice little bar and grill. Another really cool place, Rockin' Baja. Have you ever been to Rockin' Baja Lobster? It's a great little restaurant.
Right there, just past that. But down beyond, they've got a lot of different things. More camping down there in the harbor as well.
Yeah.
Camping, I know they do events with the lifeguards. Things for kids to do, of course. They do junior lifeguards during the summer months, which is a cool opportunity. So if you're a military family and you got kiddos, I think ages, I want to say 7, 8 years old on up to teenage years, you can get them involved in the junior lifeguards, which is a pretty cool opportunity. And then as we're kind of rolling into more, definitely a well-established part of downtown, this place has just evolved so much over the years, and it's really neat to see the change.
I think a lot of these homes originally, I mean, even when I first got here, you know, you're seeing homes that were more like this, like a small beachfront cottage.
Yep.
And then, you know, as these communities continue to develop, you're starting to see more modern developments.
More of like this,
you know, beachfront condos with rooftop access and views that are just unbeatable. But the mix here between the two is really, really, really cool to see how it still all blends together.
Things always getting renovated and redone constantly. And it's been a minute since I've been down to the pier, so they completely took down that structure at the end.
Well, there was
unfortunately a year ago with the fire.
Yeah, the fire. Yeah. But yeah, they took it all down, and I actually see their, I think they have it closed off at the end there, but I know they're putting more new wooden supports on the end there.
Okay.
Probably more for some kind maybe kind of Ruby's Diner. That was really unique. That was really cool.
Rolling up on the Top Gun house, you know, so the Top Gun house up here on the left has been in Oceanside for many, many years. It's been moved, and now it's at its resting spot. Totally redone, renovated. Definitely a hot little tourist attraction here in Oceanside.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really, really cool to see this quaint little home, or this piece of history that's stuck in the middle of these large luxury developments. Yes. It's really unique to see. I've never really seen something like that, you know?
You know, 15 years ago, none of these hotels were here.
Yeah.
I think, okay, maybe one of them was, but so much has evolved.
Even if, I believe this one, the Seabird, and the one next to it, the Mission Pacific, I believe those popped up in the last 2.5 years, 3 years.
Right.
It was all just dirt lots, parking lots before then.
Parking lots, yeah, parking structures.
And then all this
Can't
within
beat it.
5 minutes of the front gate of Camp Pendleton. And for somebody who is not a California native, this is something that I never want to do. The availability to something like this within 5 minutes of the 5 to 20 minutes of the place that you live.
It's so awesome. It really is. Good day for the beach, not crazy hot. Not too chilly, a little windy.
We've had some pretty nice spring days so far. I'm sure they'll continue and roll right into a very, very toasty summer here.
Mom's having to wrangle their kids so they don't run out in the traffic. Yeah, it's keeping them on their toes for sure.
Yeah, I think this drive right here is another thing that's unique to Oceanside. I think in all the other towns that neighbor Oceanside going down to San Diego, there's not really another drive that's quite like this. That is literally beachfront with waves crashing next to you and being able to see all these houses and just all the activity that's going on out here.
People are walking out and about. Such an active community.
Absolutely.
Much of Southern California is like that, San Diego County specifically, but the fact that Oceanside is still one of those last remaining gems with a strand right on the water, amazing, beautiful homes. You can come out here, so many opportunities to rent something, for a couple nights, for a week or two, and then come out here and have fun, spend time with family. And to be right next to the water, it's something pretty spectacular.
Oceanside is a vacation destination. Like, people come here to vacation and be out in the California sunshine. This is just kind of a highlight of that.
Yeah.
This is available all the time.
The waves are, they're pretty rough. They're crashing today. Looks like we've got high tide at the moment, relatively high tide. I'm sitting here just being quiet, but I'm reflecting that this is something that we take advantage of living here. And as you mentioned, so many people come here to vacation. And this is our backyard.
Yeah.
I got halfway through it. And then the GI Bill ran out, and I'm like, I'm not gonna
pay for it.
Not gonna pay for it. Yeah. So I have a bachelor's, about halfway through a master's in business management. Massive, beautiful hotels for a ways to go. So much to do. It's so many cool restaurants. That'll be another video. We'll talk about some local establishments. You can go into a greater detail. Have you been to the rooftop?
I have. The rooftop.
Yep.
The rooftop bar here at Mission Pacific is really, really cool. Craft Coast Tacos here. Beer and tacos. And then this new Odie's Pizza. That's a new one coming soon. So yeah, we'll definitely have to do another video. Go check it out. Harney Sushi. It's a go-to as well. Love a good sushi roll.
And as we roll up into kind of the center of downtown Oceanside, I know this Regal movie theater, it's slotted to this whole area to get redeveloped. I'm not sure, can't recall if they're gonna actually tear it down. I think they're gonna tear it down and put something up completely new. More to come on that.
Absolutely. And then some of the cool shops down here. Handles and the ever revolving, changing shops that are in and out.
But it's neat, as we've mentioned already. It's neat to see the shift, the change, something that's constantly evolving. In your time, you said you've been here for how long? It's been
about
8 years.
8 years. Yeah.
So you've seen enough of the change and the cycle and the shift and everything as well.
Yeah. It's still only a fraction compared to some of the locals who have seen it over the last 20 years, and it just only seeing these, less than a decade of evolution
Sure.
of the area makes me wonder what it's going to look like in the next 5 to 10 years, as it just has no choice but to continue to grow, along with the military base being a staple here. It's never going away.
No.
And now we're making the transition here from main Oceanside down to what is known as South O.
Yep.
Kind of this little in-between area right across the tracks between Oceanside and Carlsbad. That beach or what is it? Breakwater.
Yep. Off of Cassidy right there, and in South Oceanside, South O. If we want to talk about west of the 5 freeway, between the 5 freeway and the coast, South O is one of those gems. It's the community, the vibe that everybody wants and thinks about when they're looking for something that's close to ideal when it comes to Oceanside.
Yeah.
And if you have the means and if you have the money to afford the area, we've got price points starting over $1 million within South O and definitely working their way upwards. But it's a highly sought after community within Oceanside.
Yeah, absolutely. And then pretty soon here we'll be pulling up on one of my favorite spots that I like to go to, specifically on Tuesdays and Fridays.
Oh, awesome.
It's Primo's Market.
Let's go.
And they've been around for I don't actually know how long, but a very long time. Definitely a staple. So when I came here, actually vacationed here in 2013 as a kid, family brought me here. My sister-in-law lived right down the street. We came here for tacos, and even then, there we go, 69-cent tacos on Tuesdays and Fridays, and it is Friday. So stop in and
Let's go.
get some good tacos.
So 69-cent tacos at Primo's here in Oceanside. This place, it's been a long time since I've been, but check this out. Great little market. So we're at Primo's Tacos in Oceanside.
That's it.
This is one of your favorite spots.
I love this place. It's hard to compete with 69-cent tacos.
Dude, I know you're excited. It's been many years, I think, since I've been here, but I appreciate you taking me here. Because, on Fridays, you said Tuesdays and Fridays?
Tuesdays and Fridays, and thankfully we're here a little earlier in the morning because come lunchtime there will be a line probably about an hour long to get these tacos.
So it's about 10:30, right in between breakfast and lunch.
Yeah.
Perfect opportunity to get in, get some great food. I'm excited.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So this is cool. Let's dig in.
Let's do it.